And welcome back to your Monday edition of Summit Sunrise here with Eric Fisher. And Eric, tell me a little bit about yourself. I know that you were a lawyer, but what kind of lawyer are you?
I'm primarily an immigration lawyer these days. I've been a lot of things over the past 40 years, but now I'm pretty much focused on immigration.
Over the past 40 years?
Yes.
As a lawyer?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So what would you say is kind of the latest development in immigration law?
People probably have heard of the Dreamers Act, and that Congress has been debating that since 2011,
Right.
2001 actually. And recently, President Obama came out with this program called Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. And it's basically a stopgap measure. There are probably 1 million kids in this country who were brought here by their parents, sometimes as infants. They can't get Social Security numbers, they can't work, they can't go to college because there's no way for them to get legal under the current law. And Congress hasn't been able to get their act together to pass any type of law that would help them. So starting last Thursday, August 15th, if you're under 30 and you came to the United States before the age of 16 and you've been living here permanently ever since, and you either graduated high school or have a GED, and you have no criminal record, you can apply for what's called deferred action. And it doesn't give you any legal status. It doesn't give you a green card or a path to citizenship. What it does is it gives you the ability to apply for a work card. And with that work card, you can get a Social Security number, a legal one, and a legal driver's license. Because a lot of these kids, and again, they're up to age 30, they're working, they're living, they're here. They maybe never went back to their home country because they've been here since they were 2 or 3 years old, but they have to exist. So they go out and they buy a fake ID.
Oh.
And so for $50, you can get a fake Social Security number, you can even get a fake green card. And that's how they're living, under these fake IDs. And this is a way of getting them to sort of enter the system legally. And again, it's only for 2 years. It's a 2-year status. It gives Congress an opportunity to pass a law that maybe makes it permanent, maybe doesn't. It doesn't give them the ability to bring their parents in here or make their parents legal. It's only a way for them to get that first step, that legal Social Security number. And the reason why they shouldn't try to do it themselves is because if they have any criminal record at all, even one DUI, it could be denied, and they're exposing themselves to immigration because these people now are sort of under the radar.
Sure.
We know that there's probably 1 million of them in the U.S., but they're not out there.
Right.
And when they apply, they've now put themselves into the system. The government is saying, don't worry, we have one branch of government to deal with this program. The other branch is enforcement. We're not going to share information.
Eric, may I
Hey,
just interrupt you
you.
for just a second? This is Chaco. This is the
Hey,
morning show dog.
Chaco.
He is not so much an immigrant, but maybe at one point from
from Russia, maybe?
From Russia, exactly. But so what you're saying is, even just people here in Summit County, if they were interested in doing something like this, Chaco, honestly, they would stop by your office, or they would give you a call? How would they maybe go about starting
They
the
should
process?
call and make an appointment because I've actually had a stream of people, probably one every hour for the last 5 days.
Wow.
So it's pretty busy. So
Okay.
they want to call 970-668-1949. That's the phone number. I'm right on the corner of
Okay.
Summit and Main in Frisco. Very convenient. And make an appointment and come in, and we can look at their case. We can interview them, decide whether or not it's good for them to apply. Because not everybody who's under 30 and has been here for 40 or 30 years should apply.
Okay.
Because if
Okay.
they have a criminal record, it's probably not something they want to expose themselves
Right,
to.
exactly. So
Yeah.
definitely a good way to kind of get their toes wet, ask
Yep.
you a few questions, make sure that they, know what's really
Yep.
going on. And so, again, can you just list out the qualifications for someone that might be
They
listening?
have to currently be under the age of 31. They could be up to 30 in 11 months.
Okay.
As of June 15th, 2012, which is when this came out.
Okay.
So if their birthday was on the 14th, they're out of luck. If their birthday,
It's on
is
the
after
15th or
that, they're
16th,
fine.
we're okay?
They're
All right.
okay. They have to be able to prove that they came into the United States before they were 16. And that's hard to do, especially if their parents brought them when they were a little child. Sometimes you can do that with credit card statements. The best way to do it is with school records. So if they came to the United States and went to grammar school, middle school, and high school, then they're probably going to pass pretty easily. They also have to have either their high school diploma, a GED, or be able to prove that they're enrolled in a GED program.
Okay.
And they have to have been enrolled in that program as of the 15th of August, so they can't just now get into the program.
Gotcha.
And they probably will have to get their GED before they get this work card.
Okay. All
So,
right. Wow. So,
yeah.
okay. If you have any questions or I think, probably just about immigration law in general, again, you're located where?
619 Main Street in Frisco, which is right on the corner of Summit Boulevard.
All right. And your phone number is what?
970-668-1949.
Okay. Well, Eric, thank you so much for
Hey,
coming
thank
on
you.
and telling us all about it. And we're going to take another break here on Summit Sunrise. We'll be back with more on this Monday edition.